Scotch is in a fierce global competition for hearts and drams. There are pretenders to Scotland's throne across the world, even here. Cheeky bastards. Andrew Nelstrop comes from a Norfolk farming dynasty who have put their abundant barley to good use.
Farming sets you up well for having a distillery. They're both long-term businesses. Everything you do on the land, if you like, is designed for generations in the future. And the same goes with whiskey.
Do you know what the Greek definition of wisdom is?
Go on.
Wisdom is old men planting trees under whose shade they will never sit.
And that's the same with whiskey.
Beautiful, isn't it?
You're making whiskey that you'll probably never taste.
You don't have the hills, you don't have the glens, you don't have the peat, you don't have the wonderful soft rain that comes off the Atlantic and falls in Scotland. And yet here we are in the heart of England, and you're making bloody whiskey. Now that's a damn cheek.
But we do have...
Where'd you get your...
We have all the barley.
Uh-huh.
We have the largest peat digs in the whole of the UK, which is the Norfolk Broads.
Uh-huh.
We got the water, we've got the cleanest, largest fresh source of water underneath your feet. Don't really need anything else, do we? Apart from rain. We don't need rain.
You can have some of ours if you want.
Yeah, we're looking today.
We've got plenty of it.
Father had always wanted to make whiskey purely because one conversation he had back in when he was a lad, and it was my grandfather, the story goes, said, it's such a shame we got all this barley, so it has to go to Scotland to be turned into something useful. And it just stuck. You know, my father, he farmed in Russia, Australia, he went all over the place doing different things. But every year he went, I need to build a distillery, I need to build a distillery.
So it was his dream?
Absolutely, lifelong dream. So when he turned 60, and he was going, we need to build a distillery, I think the rest of the family just went, do what you like.
Upstarts like yourself.
Yes.
Do you think you're any serious threat to the Scotch whisky industry? Are you nibbling away?
I think it's going to be a while before we buy Diageo, but it could be another generation maybe.
There's ambition for you.
But I think in terms of quality, we can equal them. I think that's an issue. And I don't think that's me going in our whiskey can. I think any nation's whiskey can equal anybody else's because each distillery is unique. So if the owners want to do it properly, they can make blooming good whiskey. In terms of volume, we're never going to compete.
Andrew, every distillery I go to, and certainly this is much more true now than it was maybe 10, 15 years ago, every distillery has a visitor centre, and it seems to be an important point of revenue for them.
Yes, yeah, it is.
And it's not just spreading the word, it's about bringing in hard-earned cash.
It is. It's incredibly useful in terms of spreading the word and getting a loyal following, you know, come and see the distillery and meet the people. It's a great story. For new distilleries opening up like ourselves, the gin boys and vodka boys have got it easy, you know, make the stuff yesterday, sell it today.
Yes.
Well, there's no cash flow issues there. Whereas the world of whiskey, make it today, sell it in 3, 5, 10 years time, there is a slight need for another source of income. Which brings you down to having a shop and selling everything from bottles of your own whiskey to tea and coffee and cake. And yeah, it's a good source of income and it's a nice day out for people.